How are you?
Good. How are you? Long time no see.
I know it has been a while. Nice to see you
You too.
in the virtual world.
I know, right?
Whoop. All right. Welcome, everyone. Back to the Wednesday College series. It's February 3rd, and today we are so lucky to have Meredith and Chantal here from San Diego Miramar College to share with us information on our wonderful partner just across the freeway from us. Before we get started, I just wanted to give you an update about an opportunity that's coming up. There's a career opportunity to find out through Spark 2021. It's a series that's going to be taking place on February 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. On the 13th, they're going to be offering STEM speakers, speaking on things from, first one is on marine chemistry, Institution of Oceanography. So they're going to be talking about careers available in that field. Also in mathematics, cardiology, robotics, and there's going to be also a family physician speaking. On the 20th, it's going to be focused on business speakers. So they'll have somebody from Morgan Stanley, another investment firm, as well as someone talking on human resources. And then on the last day, the 27th, it's going to be focused on law and social justice with history teachers, trial attorneys, and then also a judge. So to sign up for these, you can find the sign up on the College Corner. This is available at the Scripps Ranch High School Foundation website, and there you can click on the College Corner, and that'll have the link to that event as well as others. And then also to see recordings of this presentation and any other presentation that we have done, please visit us on our YouTube channel for the virtual college fair. There you will find recordings of all of these. And this is what it looks like once you get there. All right, without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing here and turn it over to Meredith and Chantal.
All right, thank you. Let me just quickly screen share so we can begin. All right, so hello everybody. My name is Chantal Hernandez, and I am a part of the Miramar College outreach team. We're very as well and be answering any questions towards the end. Today, I also have Meredith, who I will have introduce herself. She's also a part of our
support our high school students, our high school dual enrollment students, as well as new incoming matriculation students. So today we will be covering a lot of good information.
All right, so as part of Miramar College, if you submit an application, you have access to all three of our campuses. So with one application and one ID, you're able to take classes not only in our campus, but City and Mesa as well, which does provide flexibility, in terms of your schedule, in terms of, what program you may be in. You're able to have different offerings in all of the campuses. And each campus, of course, has different programs and services, and of course different locations around San Diego, but of course we're now virtual, so you're able to take online classes in any of our campuses. Along the lines of that, there's also continuing education locations, which are colleges that provide non-college credit mostly courses, and some of them may be like English classes for non-native speakers, for GEDs, and then there's a variety of different classes as well that were also offered through our district. And all of our campuses have, state-of-the-art facilities. Depending on what your program is, we are a very large district, and we are very proud of, the classes that we offer to our students, and the services and support resources that we offer as well. So a little bit about San Diego Miramar College. So we did start back in 1969. We started as a very small college, and now we've grown to 15,000 students approximately, and we actually are the fastest growing community college in Southern California. So we have 70 associates programs, 90 career technical certificates. So we have a lot to offer. Even though we are, the smaller of the three campuses, we're actually starting to catch up in size with the other campuses. And that definitely shows with our programs. And with our partnerships with the local industry, that assists students to become more prepared and ready for those entry-level positions and careers that they're seeking. We also, of course, have different course offerings. So whether you're more of a morning person or more of an evening person, back before the pandemic, of course, we had both on campus and online. And of course, now, due to the pandemic, we have a lot of the online offerings now available to students, but still in the morning and in the evening time, depending on what it is your preference is, or maybe your work schedule or other, life responsibilities, you're able to pick whatever schedule that you'd like, depending on the courses as well. And of course, the transfer programs are very popular. A lot of students end up coming to Miramar College, and they end up, maybe in a UC system, in a private system, CSU, and we have different transfer guarantee programs, priority programs. Our transfer counselors are awesome, and they are up to date with all of the requirements needed for that, and really guide students to get them to where they ultimately would like to be. So definitely, I recommend, checking out the transfer center, and they have all that information available. All right, and like I mentioned, we have a lot to offer. So whether a student is seeking a degree, or whether a student is maybe more towards maybe receiving a certificate, or more focused toward the career education, we have all of that. And I can talk a little bit more about that a little further on with Meredith, but we have a lot of degrees and certificates. What's the difference between a degree and certificate? A degree takes a little bit longer, of course, and it has general education courses. But students that seek a certificate, perhaps in maybe a career education program, they focus a lot on the very core classes that they need to take, depending on that program. So, a lot of the times it is a direct track into that career. So our programs provide that hands-on training and the experience, so that they're able to become prepared and competitive when they actually graduate. And of course, like I mentioned, transferring is a very popular path, and students take their general education with us, and then ultimately move on to a four-year institution after that. And I know we put the approximate timeframes for each of these, but I also want to say, there's not one one correct path for students to take, or not one correct time frame. Everybody, starts differently. Everybody ends at a different time. It really is up to each student, and we want to make sure that no matter how long, no matter how many years, semesters it takes for students to get to that ultimate end goal, we want to make sure that they know that they're supported with us. And so we always want to make sure that, we say that to our students, like, no matter what, no matter how many semesters, how many years it takes you to, accomplish something, it doesn't matter. We're here to support you. And as long as you get to that end goal, then, we're always going to be rooting for you. And financial aid. All right. So community college, a lot of people know that it's affordable. But it does begin with, the FAFSA or the DREAM Act. The FAFSA provides the federal and the state grants, which is money that assists you to pay for college. It provides work study and loans. So it's a variety of aid that, you have to pay back, and others that you don't. But every year it does need to be submitted. And starting on October 1st of every year, that is when students can begin applying for FAFSA, for the financial aid. And like I mentioned, it does need to be done every year. A lot of students think that, I submit it once and I'm good for, the rest of the time. Well, actually, it needs to be done every year. So that is important to note. And when you are completing the FAFSA, it will ask you for colleges that you're intending on attending. And So the school code is important to note, to write down, and make sure. And a lot of the time students get confused because when they put Miramar University is what appears. Make sure that when you're doing the FAFSA, the Miramar College school code is the one that you submit. A lot of the time, people get confused. There's a Miramar University out there as well. So make sure that you actually put in the code for our college. And then, of course, the DREAM Act. Now, this is essentially, the same purpose. It's for financial aid, but this is for undocumented and non-resident students. So there's still opportunity for those students to receive help for college. And again, it's also the same time frame. It needs to be done every year. And October 1st is when the application opens. So from October 1st to March 2nd is like the priority time frame, because there are some forms of aid that it's more of like first come first serve, or they're limited in their funds. So if you file during that time frame, so right now we're within that time frame, right? You're able to have more resources or funds available to you. Not to say that you're not going to receive anything, but depending on the information that you provide, that is something that that's important to keep in mind. All right, so the San Diego Promise. A lot of people ask, like, oh, I've heard that I can go to Miramar College for free, or, there's a program out there that I heard that provides, 1 year of free college. Well, everybody's talking about the San Diego Promise program, and this is a great program. So this program offers first-time college students the opportunity to receive up to 2 years of free tuition. But it sounds awesome, and it is, but we are so much more than just providing free tuition. Before we actually get into how to apply, who can apply, it's important to note that the benefits go so much more than the financial aspect. Yes, you can get up to 2 years of free tuition, but there's also the academic support. So we can provide the stress out of having to pay, take that out of the equation. But there's more than the success of a student than just the financial part, right? So we know that, and we have students that are in our program. We give them the access to a peer mentor. So these are students themselves that are able to meet with students and provide their experiences. But also we have individualized counselors. So these are actual counselors that also provide, more information on different requirements. We also have progress report check-ins. So we're able to be with Promise students throughout their time so that they know that they're supported. And if they're having, any type of trouble throughout the semester, which is not uncommon, students can feel a little bit overwhelmed at times. They have somebody that can provide them some type of support, and connect them with campus resources that are able to assist them during that time. And of course, book grants, the money to pay for books is for eligible students, so that is based on financial aid. But these are just the benefits. So it's a package of both financial and academic support, which is really, really great for students. But now, eligibility, who can apply? So you have to be a first-time college student, and by first-time college students, I know that some students are taking classes at Miramar while in high school. That doesn't eliminate you from the eligibility, so you don't have to worry about that. But once you graduate, you have to begin with college classes with Miramar College. So that's what that means. You would be a first-time college student after you graduate. Or if you identify with any of these groups, so a foster youth student, a veteran of the armed forces, a formerly incarcerated student, or an undocumented student. So there's a different eligibility for that. So if you fall into that group or you're a first-time college student, you're already one step closer to the eligibility. Right now, what's left? So you need to have graduated within the last year or obtain a high school graduate equivalency, so like a GED. You also must be a California resident or AB 540 eligible, and you must enroll and maintain at least 12 units per semester and obtain or maintain a 2.0 college GPA. So we still want to make sure that you're in good academic standing and that you are enrolled and maintain that full-time status, which is the 12 units per semester. Now that you've heard all about that, and if you're checking off the boxes and you're like, yes, I'm eligible, yes, everything she said, it marks who I am and I'm eligible. All right, well, now how do you apply? So actually our fall 2021, I'm still getting used to the new year, but the fall semester, the upcoming one, our application for Promise has just been uploaded onto our website, and we will definitely send you all information on that, because I know this is going to be a lot of information, and we want to make sure that you are able to access applications or websites or different links. So do not worry, we will be sending that information out in a follow-up email. But the first step, of course, is to apply to our college, right? You apply to our college, and you also need to, like I mentioned, complete a Promise application through our district website. So I will send you that information so that you have access to that website. And on that website includes the same information that I just provided you today. There's also some frequently asked questions, and of course the application itself, so that you're able to easily access, the questions and the answers that you're seeking. And then, of course, the FAFSA and the DREAM Act are still important, even though the Promise program isn't based on financial need. It is still a step for the program. So you must either complete the FAFSA or the DREAM Act application, depending on your status. And lastly, one of the last steps is to attend a Promise orientation. So once you've completed the steps and you have been, verified that you are able to be in the Promise program, the last step would be to attend a Promise orientation. And that is when you sign your contract, and they provide you, more in-depth information about what the next steps are and what being a Promise student will be, because you need to make sure that you're maintaining the requirements in order to move on to that second year. Just because you receive the aid that first year for the Promise program, if you don't maintain the requirements, then you wouldn't be eligible for that second year. So that's also important to know. We want to make sure that we're there every step of the way, but that you're also fulfilling the requirements needed for that. All right, I'll pass it on over to Meredith.
Thank you so much, Chantal. Hi, everybody. So I'm going to discuss with you a few of the different specialties and programs that we do have available through Miramar College. So we do have numerous degrees as well as certificates available. There's so much to consider. We have various subspecialty programs, and we have the liberal arts school, mathematics, biological, exercise science, and physical sciences, as well as public safety. Now, under each of these programs, there's an umbrella of many careers that you can explore. I know initially when students are graduating from high school and entering into college, some may already have a very specific goal in mind and know exactly the emphasis, the area that they do want to study, and many may not, and that's certainly very normal. We do encourage you once you are starting your exploration prior to graduating from high school to meet with a counselor at Miramar College, and in the springtime we will be hosting matriculation series of workshops. And so that's going to be for graduating seniors this year. So certainly keep that on the horizon. And if you are a freshman, sophomore, as well as a junior, that's something to consider just in the approaching years, because every year we do offer these workshops where we facilitate applying, as well as meeting with a counselor, developing your educational plan, so you know exactly what courses that you do need to take. And what's really nice is that when you do first begin within the first year, is you will get a lot of experience within all of these areas, because as part of the 2-year program, if you're going to consider potentially an associate's degree, as well as even a transfer or certificate, oftentimes it does involve mathematics, English, various specialties. So you'll really get to dabble in all of these fields. And sometimes it's that hands-on experience or being in the classroom that really ignites a possibility, something that you may not have considered prior. And I would also encourage you to explore our Career Center on campus. They meet with students very early on, and they have a lot of great opportunities just to discuss and showcase various career exploration that you may not have thought about prior. So moving on to the next slide. We also have our career education pathways. These programs are anywhere from 6 weeks to 2 years, and it really just depends on the concentration as well as your goal. So if you are looking for that well-rounded just an associate's degree and looking to enter into the workforce, then these are so many various fields that you could potentially consider studying. And what's nice is that the goal is to get you the hands-on experience within these various fields, as well as internship opportunities with various partners that we have throughout the county of San Diego. And once you do complete this, we also have a lot of collaborative efforts to help you land those immediate employment opportunities. So always the goal is once a student does complete these career technical specialization, is that we want the student to enter into employment. So just to highlight a few, we do have our automotive technology program, and we have partnerships with Honda as well as Toyota. We have our aviation maintenance. We also have our business and computer information systems, diesel technology. So if you really enjoy working with the larger, like hands-on automotive, as well as the industrialized trucks, there's so much. And I think that especially like the automotive industry, there's a lot that's certainly changing very, very rapidly as we're entering in as a nation into more of like the alternative energy. There's so much to consider. So it certainly is an exciting field to be a part of. Also, if you're interested in legal studies, we have our paralegal program, and also public administration and public safety. So we do have a very strong connection with our public safety. Some students are interested in going into our police academy, or perhaps even studying the field of forensics. So certainly a lot to choose from. And we do work very closely with students to just help them decide what would be the best based off of their passion, and just exploring a lot of these fields. So there's certainly many more to highlight, but these are just a few, and we will, as Chantal mentioned, we'll follow up with various links as well as resources so that you can continue to explore some. To highlight the importance of our campus community becoming involved. By becoming involved and participating in campus life, students will become more engaged, and it can have a direct correlation to their success in the classroom. Being a part of the community really is very impactful. And I would like to highlight our Phi Theta Kappa. This is our honors program. So definitely encourage students, once they're students, to apply to this program. There's a lot of various opportunities, as well as when students are considering potentially transferring, this can really be a boost to their admission application as well. We also have our student employment with not only outreach, but various student services departments on campus, and students really utilize and learn those professional experiences and tools to help just build that resume. So this is something that we would encourage students to become a part of, and it's really a great way to meet other peers throughout the campus as well. We have our associated student government. We have many organizations as well as clubs to partake in, and we also have athletics as well. The athletics right now, some of the sports, of course, due to COVID, are not partaking, but certainly once we are able to offer these again, that's
Oh, we lost Meredith. Meredith. Oh, you're back. I think you just cut. Yeah, you just cut off a little bit at the end, Meredith, and now you're back.
Oh, okay, I do apologize. So I'm not sure if I was still connected when I was discussing athletics, but this is another great opportunity to really become involved and having the opportunity to meet other students as well. Moving on to the next slide, please, Chantal. And this is our student services. Would like to just touch upon a few of these. We have our admissions department, and this is where new students first apply if they have any questions regarding like residency. Also, when students are preparing to graduate, they'll be required to file a petition, and admissions works behind the scenes, as well as supporting our high school dual enrollment. Enrolling our high school students in their college courses as well. We have our financial aid department, and financial aid is very supportive to students. If students ever have any questions regarding the financial aid application, as well as just like general support, we have many grants as well as scholarships to apply for throughout the year. So always be on the lookout for those. We have our DSPS department, disability support programs and services, for additional support for students that do meet eligibility for that program. We have our Dreamers program as well. And then counseling, our health services, as well as mental health services, EOPS, which stands for Extended Opportunities and Programs for students that are disadvantaged, and provides additional above and beyond services. And then we also have our veterans as well as our military programs too. Moving on to the next slide. Oftentimes we are supporting students in just getting started. So a common question is, where do I begin? What do I do? Well, rest assured, we have many support services. As I mentioned, once you're preparing to graduate from Scripps, we will be hosting workshops so that students are able to meet with us, and we can walk you through the steps, assist you with the application. What's great is that all of these steps are available online. They're accessible. Typically, it takes approximately 15 minutes to apply. And we have an online orientation meeting with a counselor, as well as, of course, as Chantal mentioned, it's important to apply for financial aid. And then after students do complete this, it's always really important to notate when you're planning to register for your classes. So students will receive a registration appointment, and on that date and time, that's when they're going to register. Also, it's very convenient because it's completed online as well. And then lastly, students will enroll in their specific classes and then begin the semester of choice. Some students, when they're graduating, they want to get a head start and just really get a feel for what it's like taking a college class. So they may start in the summer term, or they may begin in the fall just after graduating. So it really is up to the individual student and what works best for them. Okay, and next slide, please. Would like to just highlight a few important ways in which you can become connected and involved in the outreach community at Miramar College. We do host virtual tours so that you can learn more about program highlights and just really stay up to date as to different programs that are currently available through Miramar. They're 30-minute sessions, and we do offer them on a monthly basis. We also have 45-minute webinar sessions, and we do highlight various topics per month. So previously we have collaborated with financial aid as well as our EOPS programs, which is the Student Support Services program within Student Services. And then some of our partners through our career tech education programs that would explore career opportunities. So definitely would encourage you to partake in that. And we do have a way in which you're able to sign up for that. And again, we will be providing you with all of the resources, the links, so that it's very convenient, and on your own free time, you can go ahead and register for that. And we also have an ongoing monthly newsletter so that you can stay up to date with us. And moving on to the last slide. Would like to just encourage you to follow us on Instagram. We have our Miramar Outreach Instagram, as well as our San Diego Promise Instagram. We also have a UChat, live UChat feature available. This is offered during our standard business hours. And if you have any type of questions that you're seeking, you need any support on, it's great is you can bypass the email and receive that live connection with one of our staff members, and we'll do our best to direct you and answer your questions that you may have. Also feel free to always email us as well, but if you are looking for just like that immediate response, UChat is a great alternative to that as well. And then as mentioned, we do have our ongoing distribution list for upcoming events, as well as our newsletter. So would encourage you to join that. So thank you so much for having me today. And this concludes the formal presentation, and we'll be opening up for questions and answers too.
Okay, thank you so much, Meredith and Chantal.
Thank you for all the information. That's very helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome. And like I mentioned, it's a lot of information, so we definitely are going to follow up with all that information that we covered, with links and any documents. That way you can definitely review it on your own time as well. And I know especially the Promise program as well. That's a popular one. So definitely look out for that email that I'll be sending out afterwards.
All right. Thank you very, very much for being here today. We really, really appreciate you coming. And we'll see all of you next week for our Wednesday College Fair. Thanks again, Chantal.
Thank you so much for having me.